If you look at the last 12 months or so, it's been unprecedented in the amount of disasters that have occurred, let alone impact it has on the people directly affected. But from an insurance and a staff's perspective, they've had to deal with a lot.
I think the most recent example that comes to mind about our people and that care that they have is from the Brisbane floods in January this year. A lot of people will know our building was shut. People in Brisbane weren't able to come to work, and yet we had something like 50 people turn up on the Sunday saying, let us in, we actually need to get in, look after our intermediaries and look after our customers.
I remember the Yassi cyclones up in Queensland and CGU being, on the ground in Queensland with generators, not only for our own customers, but for the public.
There was a great example there where we had CGU staff sharing space in the local Innisfail branch, Bendigo and Adelaide Bank branch, actually partnering together, processing claims on the spot, actually trying to get people back on their feet quickly as possible.
The bushfires, I think, was it Feb 09. Obviously there was a lot of awareness of it, but the direction coming from above me and in turn my direction to my people was, this is the highest priority. We need to, it's a crisis for these individuals. We need to put our resources into it and make it happen.
If you look at what's happened in recent catastrophes in Australia, I think our industry's done a sensational job in supplying cover and supplying peace of mind and actually getting people back on their feet again.
Leave them, feeling great and relieved when they get off the phone. Oftentimes they ring in very under pressure and stressed, and if you can hang up the phone, leaving them having laughed or with a smile on their face, I think that's what they appreciate.
The most rewarding part of the role for me is working with the team to be there for the customer. Ultimately, that's the only reason why any of us are there, is so that the customers who have been loyal to us for year after year, paid us premium, it's the moment of truth when they give us a call, and being there for them to relieve that stress and create peace of mind, that's the most rewarding for me.
Before I left claims, I had one worker who was very aggressive at the start, but finally she came over. Today, still she sends me her correspondence to be given to her claims manager, and she has had that bond with me over 5 years.
Yeah, look, I think the claims is probably the toughest area of our job, because you are dealing with people, you are dealing with their livelihood, their ability to earn an income. I guess the area I like is being able to influence recovery of injured workers.
When I started 10 years ago, there was a focus on liability, accept or decline. Now it's about how we encourage and promote and support early intervention and early return to work.
Well, the Beaconsfield mine claims were a good example of how we perform. And the unfortunate part about that accident, obviously, was that we had one death and we had the 2 guys who were trapped. Once we found they were safe and well, it was important that we got on top of managing the claims with the employer. With the unions. Those claims ran for over 2 years. They weren't easy claims to manage. However, we were able to get them both back to work. Both claims have been settled and they've gone on with their lives.
Before my injury, I was doing construction work. Originally, I had a fall at work. When I was first injured, all I could do was basically just lie on the ground. That was the only place I could get comfort. I was told that I'd never work again. I've lost a lot. I've lost my job, my family, my house. I haven't been able to kick the football with him for nearly 6 years. So when they used to have the father and son games, I used to just stand there with tears just running down my face.
I got to a stage where I was that bad where I used to sit with a loaded rifle under my chin after consuming quite a considerable amount of alcohol. At that moment, the only thoughts I had was my life was finished.
It's hard enough to deal with an injury in the first place that changes your whole life. So having CGU there to support me, I really needed. It was like having a good friend that I could turn to. Since then, I've had a spinal cord stimulator implanted.
So having that procedure done, how did that change your quality of life?
I can go and have a small kick of the football with my son where I couldn't do before.
He's always had a positive outlook on where this can take him, and it's in a totally different area where he never thought he would be.
I'd like to study OH&S so I can prevent someone going home like me. If I could prevent even one person, I'd feel that I've achieved something.
Every cloud has a silver lining, as they say.
Quite often we get a call from CGU for a domestic fire. Just recently I had one in Brisbane actually, where the insured daughter was getting married. The fire occurred on the Saturday and we got called in on the Monday morning, and we had till Friday to try and clean the house. With the help of the CGU assessor, we got the go-ahead straight away, and we managed to pull apart everything in the house, clean her wedding dress, which she was very happy about, because her mother had made her wedding dress and all the bridesmaids' dresses. Basically, we were leaving the house on Friday afternoon at 3 o'clock as the parents were bringing their parents, the grandparents of the bride, home. We managed to achieve a great result and the wedding went off fantastic. The bride sent us a card from her honeymoon and just thanking us for the fact that her wedding wasn't destroyed, and it was a great all-round story. It was fantastic.